Hello everyone, let us start with another important video of environment. In this video, we'll look into all the aspects of ozone. We'll see what ozone is, what is ozone hole, and the predominance of it in Antarctica and the effects of ozone. Let us start with the basics of ozone. It is also called as trioxygen. That is, there are three oxygen molecules in ozone. That it is also called as O3 or trioxygen. It is found in stratosphere. So let us look into the layers of atmosphere. This is on the basis of the distance. Okay, the first layer is troposphere. The second layer is stratosphere. The third one is mesosphere. The fourth one is thermosphere. And later on, you also get exosphere and ionosphere. Ozone is a natural gas and it is found in stratosphere, lower portion of the stratosphere. What is stratosphere? Let us look into this diagram for answers. From the sea level to 10 kilometers above the earth, it is troposphere. From sea level up to nearly 50 kilometers above the earth is stratosphere. This is the place where we find ozone, and the aeroplane also flies in this region. After this comes mesosphere, and after that comes thermosphere. What ozone in the lower part of stratosphere does is it absorbs UV rays coming from the sun. UV rays, if not absorbed by ozone and if it reaches the earth directly, then what will happen? UV rays, if exposed to skin, it causes direct damage to DNA or genetic material of both plants and animals. This is important. Venus also has thin layer of ozone at an altitude of around 100 kilometers from its surface. So Venus is the second planet at an altitude of around 100 kilometers from its surface. There is ozone around Venus. Keep this in mind. What is ozone hole? The whole Earth, if this is taken as Earth, the whole Earth is covered with ozone at stratosphere. That is lower part of the stratosphere at an average of around 30 to 40 kilometers. The part above Antarctica, that is, let us take this part as Antarctica, only the part above Antarctica is depleted. This part is called as ozone hole. So the ozone hole is not actually the hole. It is the part of the ozone which is depleted. That is, lesser percent of ozone exists here. It is not actually a hole. This ozone is getting destructed due to various reasons. In ozone formation and destruction, there is no balance. That means ozone is getting destroyed faster than it can be formed, especially the part above Antarctica. This part is depleting at faster rate. This is ozone hole. As we saw, ozone hole is not actually a hole, but the depleted part. The region of ozone above Antarctica is just like 50% of the original. The first reason for this depletion is chlorofluorocarbons. That is chlorine plus fluorine plus carbon. That makes chlorofluorocarbons. As usually known as CFCs, are important source of destruction of ozone layer. Let us understand what are CFCs, why they were actually introduced. First we'll know why they were actually introduced, then we'll understand how it is affecting the ozone. In the 1900s, refrigerant were made up of sulfur dioxide, methyl chloride, ammonia, but these were found to be toxic. So as an alternative for this, CFCs were found. CFCs are non-toxic. First thing is, it is non-toxic and it is less reactive. They are more stable and they are poorly soluble in water. These were introduced in fridges, foam blowing, ACs, cosmetics, etc. The large-scale use of this resulted in large-scale emission of CFCs into the atmosphere. It took us 50 years to understand how it is affecting our atmosphere. And these points are important about CFCs. That is, they are non-toxic, they are not reactive, they are very stable, and they are poorly soluble in water. The next important source for depletion of ozone is nitrogen. In fact, nitrous oxides emissions are considered to be single most important threat for ozone depletion nowadays. Nitrogen oxides are present in industrial emissions, thermonuclear weapons, agricultural fertilizers, etc. Let us now understand how it affects ozone. Nitrogen oxides are stable in lowest level of atmosphere. They are also stable in troposphere. Its life itself in troposphere is around 100 years, and they act as greenhouse gas. When it migrates to stratosphere from troposphere, the reaction starts. Let us understand what the reaction is. That is, nitric oxide combines with one molecule out of the three molecules in ozone and becomes nitrous dioxide, which again combines with one molecule of ozone and forms nitric oxide again. So this cycle to and fro continues, which leads to the depletion of ozone. After the two important sources which affect the ozone, let us move on. Why is ozone hole predominant in Antarctic region and not in other parts of the earth? There are two reasons for this. The chlorine and nitrogen, which has formed a series of destruction in the ozone, the O2 molecules in the stratosphere forms thin clouds of ice crystals in the coldest regions. This cold is possible only above Antarctica, as its temperature is around minus 90 degrees Celsius during June to September. We have seen that ozone is present in lower part of the stratosphere. This combining with the cold winds from Antarctica form ice crystals. These ice crystals release again chlorine atoms. As this happens in sequence and extremely fast, it destructs the ozone layer above Antarctica. This is the first reason. Another reason is photolysis of chlorine peroxide. This requires UV light, which is available in lower stratosphere in spring season. These two are responsible for the loss of ozone. Lower stratosphere plus coldest part of the earth, which is Antarctica, and they form thin clouds of ice crystals. This is called as polar stratospheric clouds. Let us move on to last part of the ozones, that is effects of ozones. How does ozone affect animals and humans? One is they cause skin cancer and eye disease. UV rays have shown in experimental systems to damage cornea of eye and lens of eyes. UV rays decrease immune response to cancer cells. And on the plants, they affect the developmental process of plants. They result in changes in composition of species, changes in the plant forms. Their effects on aquatic ecosystem, that is reduced survival of phytoplanktons, changes in the developmental stage of fish, shrimps, crabs, etc. So that's all for the video related to ozone. Please like our Facebook page, that is Karnataka Exams, or search for hashtag Karnataka Exams and you'll find our page, the first page. Please like there, and I'll meet you in the next video.